Vaccines. Vaccines have been around us for a very long time. It's not a novel concept, it's nothing new. The only thing that's probably different in the last few months and years is that around COVID-19, the issue of vaccine for or against, it's been hotly debated and it's been around us as millions and millions of people around the world are being vaccinated against the COVID-19 virus. So what are vaccines? Do you have any idea what vaccines are? I think to keep the science simple, it's, I'll try and explain it in very simple terms. As I say, vaccines aren't new. They've been around for decades now. The technology behind vaccines has been evolving. We're a lot better at making vaccines. We're a lot quicker. Our vaccines have better efficacy rates. And by efficacy rates, I mean how effective they are. In essence, a vaccine, that you come across as an injection or perhaps something you ingest, most you come across are injection actually. It's basically in a fluid form. And what it does, it tends to contain the virus, the organism, but in an inactive form. We call it the deactivated form. In some cases, there's actually live vaccines out there that we can use, not for COVID-19, but for other purposes, live vaccines, which we can use to get the body to react to. In the case of COVID-19 vaccine, we've kind of used a part or replicated a part of the virus. So you might have come across the issue of spike proteins. So it's like a part of the virus. It's a specific part of the virus that's quite unique to that virus. So therefore, if you create a vaccine that you inject in a person, and then what it does, it stimulates the body to create that protein, all right? To which then the body reacts, develops an autoimmune response to it and produces antibodies against it, all right? So essentially what you're doing is you're creating a way of defending itself should the actual virus invade the body in the future. Even if the virus is changed slightly, hopefully those antibodies that the body has created will be able to recognize that virus and react in a more efficient way and be able to get rid of the infection, and hopefully the person doesn't become sick. So we're seeing that in reality as more and more people are being vaccinated throughout the world. We find that we're not becoming as sick, as ill when we encounter the COVID-19, and certainly people aren't becoming hospitalized as much, and thankfully not as many are dying as they did initially. So at one point, do we stop vaccination? How far do we take it? So the answer to that isn't as simple to answer, except to understand that what we're trying to do with the virus is that we want to achieve herd immunity in our community, so that when the virus hits the community, it can't do much. Why? Because imagine in that group of people, a large proportion is vaccinated. They will straight away deal with the virus. They'll straight away get rid of it. So that even if there are people in the community who aren't vaccinated, the chances of them getting the virus and therefore becoming ill is minimized, because the vast majority are already immunized and they have the protection against the virus. And what we have done is we have created herd immunity. All right. The numbers out there are touted as 90%. In the UK, we've heard figures of 93% a lot recently. Certainly you need those kind of numbers of herd immunity, whether through vaccination or through people who've already had the infection, and combined they create what we call a herd immunity. And at that point what happens is the virus becomes less effective in that community. And that's really how we're trying to reduce the rates of infection.